last couple of weeks, Drake has been
madness.
He's been flying the British flag like fully. So it started, let's say, just before Wireless on Instagram. You see in his story he's got the Link Up TV mic, and then following that you see Link Up TV posting Drake doing a Link Up TV, and the internet just goes mad. And then, so from there we're waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then on the Saturday, so this is the weekend of Wireless, he drops the freestyle. Like, it's a madness, to be fair to him. Like, what I'm gonna say about it is, like, the flow, I didn't really expect it. Everyone expected him to be on a American thing, sorry, but he came with like a UK drill beat, a UK. I'd say like.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like after hearing the More Life project where he was trying to be very UK? To be honest, I was kind of expecting him to drop a very UK sounding flow, like, because I mean, maybe less so on that Gigs track, KMT, but on some of those tracks he was really like pulling out the Mandem card,
Well,
the Tings cards.
Yeah. Nah, he's done it in the past. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, in that freestyle, even though it's sick, it's Lowski's flow and it's Heady One's ad-libs in there. And like, even goes back to like, I rate Drake, but as I was saying before, like, I call him the Kirby of the music industry. Like,
Kirby of the music industry.
He sucks up Mandem's powers and like makes them better.
But what do you think of the what do you actually think of like the album, like compared to More Life and his other projects? Like where does, because obviously his album before this one was very, what was it, the last one that was the playlist, the one that he called the playlist?
Last one was More Life, which came out like March 2017.
Okay. Because in that was a very UK driven project, because that had Georgia Smith, Gigs, the Skepta interlude,
even
Sampha as well. But then this project was very much straight.
Oh yeah, it's back to like, what he does best, basically.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, where does it like stand for you? Maybe in like, not in his like list of albums, because we could talk about that all day. I mean, I've got my own list really, but like, what are your thoughts on the project as a whole?
No, for me, it bangs. Like, I say I prefer side A just because I'm more of a fan of Drake when he raps and goes in, makes his turn up stuff. I mean, on there you got God's Plan, certified hit, certified banger. You got I'm Upset, which like everyone was unsure about when it dropped. Like, even one of my boys was like, like, I'm not feeling sure this. But I said, nah, trust me, it's gonna grow on you. Like, when this is played in the club, when this is played in the festivals, it's that one, like, it's just got the
it's got those 808s.
The 808s, the bars, feeling that. Even the intro, Mob Ties as well, like and then obviously he had to address the baby rumors and all that, which he did on the outro.
On March 14th.
Yeah, March 14th.
Oh, do you know that? So people were saying online that what's weird about that whole March 14th thing is that was the same day he was playing Fortnite with this guy called Ninja. So people are saying, like, what are your priorities, Drake? Like, is your priority like your kid or playing Fortnite?
That guy, he's like, he just does people dirty, fam. He did the baby dirty, he did the baby mama dirty. But we don't know. Maybe behind the scenes, he's looking after the kid or whatever. But
I think he's doing his thing. Yeah.
In terms of the album, overall it's good. I'd say like side A, I'd only like side B, sorry, I only like the second half of it. So from obviously you got In My Feelings,
which bangs.
Yeah. That's like the hit from the album. Obviously Jaded as well, where he talks about Georgia Smith and pours his heart out to like a woman who's like 10 years younger than him. But
what was it that what was that Joe Budden said like some madness about the whole situation. Just said like there's a really bad sequence of events with Drake and really young women, like really young women, because he's going for like 20-year-olds all the time.
Yeah, well,
But he's being curved all the time, and I think he's someone that I don't know if he's someone that wants like obviously he's been talking about Hidden Hills and which is all apparently about Kim Kardashian or whatever. But I honestly think he just wants a girl to like have at his mansion in Toronto and just go off on tour and just be like, baby, I'm back, and just do that every time.
That's the thing, and I think with like I can't really speak to Georgia Smith's mindset, but maybe in her head she's thinking like, because she's with another music artist now who's like much more underground than Drake, doesn't have the same clout, but she's thinking like Drake's probably gonna be doing his champagne pappy things, innit?
Yeah, but Drake was mad.
Girl to go.
Drake was coming across mad jealous in that, like saying like,
yeah, it's coming
guy
across
does-
now because he's been left in it, but if
Yeah, but
he was
it's-
with her, it probably wouldn't have been gone down like that.
I mean, the thing is, he's always been a bit of a sweet boy, like down to a T. I mean, Take Care was all about like love ballads and like the girls that have wronged him or whatever. And like, I guess with this project, it even in my feelings, like Kiki, who's like apparently some Instagram model, it's always like he always tries to. Drake never targets someone specifically. He seems to make songs about all the girls he's dated and makes all the girls try and feel like jealous. Not jealous, like bad for like what they did to him. But
or he makes songs where it could be about a range of situations in it. So one song could apply to like 10 girls or whatever.
yeah, I mean, like coming off of relationships, like how do you feel about like all the kind of Kanye subliminals that are being dropped as well?
Oh yeah,
because
no,
he dropped bare in those two freestyles
yeah,
as well.
so back to the Link Up TV freestyle, like, yeah, the flow's sick. I said, yeah, so he's the curb of the industry or whatever. Like, he took Lowski's flow, made it sound sick, and then coming, like, looking back with C-Biz as well, he took his flow on Grammys and did the same to XXX, but, like, either way, the freestyle was fire anyway. But in there, yeah, he's definitely sending for Kanye, like talking about the fashion stuff, saying, like your mind's just on fashion at the moment. You're not really on music too tough.
But you know what's mad, right? Like, I know this from going to studio with artists. Yeah, it's almost like it's tradition for you to go into studio, and the artists go, "Yo, I'm working on this." And they play like their tracks, and you go, like that's sick, you know, I've got some as well. You play the tracks back and forth. So apparently, like, what kicked off this beef was like Drake wrote "Yikes" for Kanye on Kanye's project.
Yeah, I don't think he wrote the whole thing though. I think he co-wrote on it. But
yeah, he wrote. Apparently, he wrote like the hook on it.
Yeah, but because I was looking at the credits today and like, there's just bare names on it. Even the whole album is.
Did you catch the Wiley and Skepta production?
Oh right, no.
So basically, Kanye sampled Morgue in the first track on that album, and you can actually low key hear Morgue playing.
Bro, I need to go.
But
back
he
to
basically
that.
what he did was, because if you put Morgue together, this is some science shit, like forgive me, but if you put like the track he made together, like the beat that comes in the end, it basically plays Morgue. It's just that the clap and the kick has been like elongated, so it's like even wider. So it doesn't sound like Morgue, but it is Morgue. So he's actually sampled Morgue in that. So it turns out that Wiley and Skepta had input into that track. It's mad.
Yeah, no, I think Kanye West had like bare the music industry coming through Wyoming. So yeah, it was through that apparently Kanye West heard March 14, heard about Drake having like this his child, and somewhere it gets messy there, like everyone's saying different things, but somehow it got to Pusha T, and then he was able to come up with the story of Adonis, or however you call it, from that. And then yeah, so Drake obviously feels like, what, so I've come through, I've helped
Written
you.
bars.
I've literally written like the best song on the album, and you've done me dirty like that. So I could.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about like that whole rollout, because the Pusha T album was great and stuff, but I honestly thought the rollout, the albums weren't great, to be honest. I don't think. I think that wasn't really a Kanye project. Obviously, there apparently in some of the bars that Kanye had in that project, there were like subtle shots at Drake because he like rewrote part of the album after the whole like TMZ thing. Which is why Drake, I think, went very, very heavily into Pusha T, because obviously Pusha T heard the tracks, then went at Drake, then Drake obviously replied, then Pusha T came back, and it was kind of like all diffused and whatever. But that whole like Kanye rollout was trash. I mean, the whole Tayana thing came out.
But you know what, the Tiana album, if you listen to it, it's actually it's fire, to be fair.
It's fire, but it's not even the album that she... So basically, he wrote the albums, went away, went to go to the listening parties, and then completely threw out the projects and like
changed it about.
Yeah, changed it about. Like Tiana,
I guess Kanye West is obviously still going through certain stuff. So like you even see the way the rollout was, it was really sporadic. Stuff was just getting thrown out. Like even with the collaboration project with Kid Cudi, like it literally came out. I was banging it. I was listening to it, and then all I see is the album just literally disappears off of Apple Music. So basically, what had happened is they had named the tracks incorrectly.
Oh yeah, that got changed. Well, that's a new thing in music now. People can now release an album, and so that they don't lose their streaming numbers, they just go in and edit the album and then just re-upload it. And that's what they're doing now. Like the same thing happened in My Feelings. When In My Feelings came out, they actually hid a Lil Wayne verse, but they actually elongated the Lil Wayne verse, so it's even longer in like the final version, and that got like changed. Because I checked Spotify, and like the whole album just like randomly re-downloaded, and it turns out that they made like loads of changes to the tracks.
Oh yeah.
But like Jay-Z's voice was like louder in his track, and like a few other changes were made. But I don't know. Like before we go back to the freestyles, like Drake versus Kanye, like who do you think's had like the best rollout? Like obviously Kanye producer, you know, whatever, but he did have 2 albums of his own. So but then obviously Drake has come through with the 1 album project, but it's had that promo.
Drake shut it down. I say for me on a like musicality point of view, I'd say Kanye West, but obviously the bigger songs definitely to Drake. Because with Kanye West rollout, it started with Pusha T's, which, to be fair, the album is hard. Like the beats, they're amazing. Bars obviously on point. And then following that, you had Ye, which was kind of
Scoobity boop.
Yeah, a bit Scoobity poop. But Yaks off that, which funnily enough, Drake co-wrote is the best song. And
I don't know, because the other thing about the rollout as well is like there hasn't been, like Drake's had music videos, Spotify promotion. I mean, obviously, like we can kind of go into it for like a little bit, but obviously there was that whole controversy with like Spotify just like bumping his streaming. Like, did you see the playlists? Like UK playlist had like Drake's face, Grime playlist had Drake's face. Like literally the whole thing had been taken over by Drake. And that's why like people are saying that basically Spotify planted Drake's album on there and just gave him loads of streaming rights, and that's why he hit 1 billion streams and broke records, because they literally just plastered him all over Spotify.
They're definitely giving Drake that mad push. You can see it. Like the album's just done a mazza. Even though it is good, but I don't think it's like up there. Like personally, I preferred More Life just because it's got like a nice variety of sounds, especially because it's more UK leaning. So I prefer that.
I mean, rumor has it, like going back to the album, the rumor actually is that for the rollout, the tracks are going to be nice for what that other track that we just mentioned, the one with the like heavy bass. That's the music video. I'm upset. And then it was going to be the Michael Jackson, aka The Weeknd single.
Finessed us nicely.
Finessed us nicely. That's definitely the Weeknd. Like, yeah, there's some lies being told there, but it turns out that because that In My Feelings track like overtook that Michael Jackson single, it turns out that In My Feelings, I think, is just going to be like the track of the summer now. Like, originally it was going to be that Michael Jackson bit, 'cause everyone was like, oh god, like he's kind of recycled MJ, like it's all coming back. But In My Feelings has now got that dance to it now. So I think, I honestly think that that's going to be the tune off the album that everyone's going to be like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently going back to Drake and the UK connection, he filmed the video for In My Feelings in London. Like apparently he was seen on like a London bus, like filming the video and that. So
I mean, did you see that he gave, well, it's rumour, but apparently he gave the guy that did the dance, Shiggy, he actually just gave him like 250k,
right,
just for saying just to say thanks.
Well, he probably did bump it up a lot.
Oh, he bumped it up.
When a song gets a dance, we all know it's out of it basically.
But so like going back to the freestyles, like I don't know, like par for par, like how are you feeling about them? I mean, personally, I think the Charlie Sloth one was, I think that was the one. Obviously, apart from like Charlie Sloth screaming, like more than Drake was like kind of spitting bars.
In compliments and sirens and
I mean,
sounds.
It's hype, innit? Like Charlie Sloth he's a good hype man, but like I feel like he said more than Drake.
With it, man. Yeah, trust. I think so comparing them, like funnily enough, I'd go the other way. Like I personally prefer the Link Up TV freestyle, just cause he says stuff on it like with the Kanye stuff like that has double meanings.
Yeah.
And like when I compare it to the Charlie Sloth fight in the booth, like the beat for that is sick. To be fair, like the bits with that one, the flow's good, but for me, like the bars, it don't make me like make that cringe face or like.
No,
he's not really saying anything for me. Like it's just like your average day stuff he's really talking about.
Yeah.
But then I'd say like it just depends what kind of like fan you are. Like I'd say the more like the people who are more into like his turn up stuff will be more leaning to the Link Up TV freestyle, whereas the people who want like that flow, that beat, that more like proper hip hop sound and stuff, they're probably gonna lean more to the Charlie Sloth freestyle.
I mean, is that Boy Wonder beat as well?
Oh yeah, no, he did bits of that. I can't lie, but
yeah, I mean, I did feel like he focused. I think he listened to like the public after that Link Up TV one, because I think he caught a lot of flack from people because he was like, do we really want to hear like the UK Drake or do we just want to hear Drake? And I think he was trying very, very, very hard to sound very drill, like UK drill.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's not Drake to me, man. Like Drake is either the R&B Drake or the hip hop Drake. Like I love it that he shows love to the UK. Like what I'm tired of now is like bare people online from the UK like saying, "Oh, Drake's a waste man." Like he's kind of a culture vulture. Like he has been in the past. Like I'm not saying he's not, but he has actually done a lot for UK artists.
No, definitely.
So much. Like in terms of scaling them to the US, like he did bits for Skepta. Like obviously I know that Skepta already had ties to the US anyway, but he did bits for Skepta. He's done bits for Dave. Like all these guys are getting that exposure mainly because of Drake. And I think that's what I find so ironic is when like people are like, nah, like we don't fuck with him because he's saying ting and man them. Like obviously it's kind of a cringe, but
that's Toronto slang as well.
Yeah.
On Drake, like being a culture vulture, whatever. I call it. It depends which way you look at it. Is it paying homage, or is it just blatantly copying it? I'd more lean to paying homage, but I can see why people, obviously in the past, like the examples I pulled up before from C-Biz to XXX to even Lowski, which he had a picture with like around the same time, funnily enough. Like I'd say, he's more like obviously adapting it into his flow and then making it better, to be honest. And the fact that, as we said on More Life, he gave the artists, a lot of UK artists, a platform, says like It's just not a thing where because culture vultures where you take it, but you're not giving back, so only you're benefiting from it. So I'd say yeah, because the artists, they're definitely benefiting from the platform Drake gives them. I'd say yeah, it's more like on a paying homage thing, but I can kind of see why people would think that.
Yeah.
With that, but yeah, so with that freestyle, I was reading actually on BBC News that it was actually supposed to be. So it came out on the 14th, but it was actually supposed to be recorded on like the day before Wireless, but for I think like apparently that Charlie Sloth and him were out partying, got too wavy and weren't able to do it. But like in terms of Drake and Wireless, I'd say like that's one thing I will commend him for, because like
He bodied it basically.
yeah,
It's
he
sick.
bodied it, even though it was apparently like 15-20 minutes. But if it was short notice that he was given, like for him to come out and do his thing, yeah, hats off.
To be honest, I thought that most of their sets were like 15-20 minutes, because I was watching clips of like I think Lil Pump and Smoke Perp and like all those guys. They were only performing for like, don't know, like clips on YouTube are like 20 minutes long, and they kind of just like
those guys. But I think now with the headliners at Wireless, it's normally supposed to be for like an hour.
mad.
Yeah, an hour. But gigs was on as well. So I don't know if they meshed their. I know Drake came out to KMT, and like they meshed their sets together kind of thing. So maybe that's why. But yeah, like so Drake filled in for DJ Khaled, who was like
On holiday.
yeah, man was on vacation saying, man are cool, man are easy. Like, whilst he was supposed to be performing. But
Yeah, what is Khaled gonna do on stage?
I don't know, like, he's going to come out do the salsa and that to his tunes. But
He's gonna come out. He's gonna play "I Got the Keys," and he's just gonna scream DJ Khaled the whole time.
yeah, like I was saying before, like, they could have got Tim Westwood, even Charlie Sloth to do the same thing. Like, you're playing bangers. I think for the headlining slot, it should be like a recognized artist who they know is gonna do bits.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So.